next guest has been doing incredible reporting on the ground in Ukraine.
Joining me now is Terrell, Jermaine Starr.
2 journalists were shot in Ukraine yesterday. How concerned are you yourself about becoming a target?
Many of you first saw me on network television reporting from the ground in Ukraine at the start of the war.
You're outside Kyiv, right?
He is the host of the Black Diplomats podcast.
I was everywhere.
Right now, I'm at a checkpoint.
And you saw me with volunteer soldiers guarding checkpoints and talking with people on the streets. I even captured video of a Russian missile strike that almost killed me. And you saw me with everyday Ukrainians, like this guy, who had a message for the Russians.
Ukraine will win, fuck Russians.
But mainly, you saw me helping people flee to safety and documenting their stories along the way. You joined my journey in Ukraine because I cared, and that made you care. Well, I'm back at it again. Join me on my new YouTube journey as I show you what it's like to live in wartime Ukraine. And I'll also be reporting from other places around the world. But no matter where I am, I'll always be with the people. In this episode, we're headed to Yahidne, a small village several hours north of the capital city of Kyiv that was occupied by the Russians at the start of the war and eventually liberated. Russian troops left destruction that'll take years to repair. A group of Ukrainians with a volunteer group repaired together want to speed up that process and run off the evil spirits Russian troops left behind, with the help of the special tradition of Ivan Kupala. Let's go.
So this is my Ukrainian Twitter, and who is here?
Okay, everybody, we are here and we're in the village of Yahidne. So this is where we will be refurbishing and rebuilding homes. This is a Tahovka tradition, basically where groups of people are coming together to clean up buildings, property, etc. And you see that I have my camping gear, and you know I don't really go camping often, so this is going to be a new experience for me. And everybody is really nice and cool, right?
Yeah, we are really nice and cool.
This place was under occupation during 26 days, from the beginning of March until the end of March 2022. And the local community suffered maybe the most in this region in general. And the whole population of the village was gathered in a basement of a school. We can see the school in a couple of minutes. And unfortunately, 15 people died there due to horrific ventilation conditions. I think during this war, up to 30 people from this village were murdered. Let's go.
So why did you decide to found this organization and when?
Well, 1 year ago, I came back to Kyiv from the western part of Ukraine, and life in the capital looked quite bleak because everything was closed. Curfew started at 10 p.m. and 3 regions of Ukraine were liberated from occupation: Kyiv region, Chernihiv region, and Sumy region. And together with friends, we decided to go to Chernihiv region, which is a little bit farther than Kyiv region, to see how we could help. And as today we just invited, I think, up to 30 friends of ours to come here. And basically we decided we didn't plan to found a big organization or whatsoever. We just decided together that we could bring volunteers on weekly basis to these villages and clean up the rubble, do some small repairs, like repair roofs, repair windows, and also provide some basic financial and material assistance to those families that that suffered the most. By the way, that's the school.
So I visited the school basement where most of the villagers were held prisoners by Russian occupiers. And I mean, it's really hard to imagine that more than 300 people were actually cramped up in this space, but they were. Folks had to sleep next to people who died, and the air quality was almost non-existent. It felt like a torture chamber for the short period of time that I was there, and Lord knows what it was like for people who were there for 4 weeks. 10 people died over a 4-week period in this basement before they were liberated by the Ukrainian army. Here's what one of the villagers who was held in the basement said of the ordeal, per the New York Times. When we were in there, none of us believed we would stay alive. We were all preparing for our own death. A lot of people just went crazy. And the quote goes on to say that while others fled the village after it was recaptured by Ukrainian forces in April, a lot of people have yet to return.
Basically, happiness was a taboo 1 year ago. It was just not possible to make jokes, to smile, to arrange any kind of parties, because it was considered as not okay since we had a war. But that caused only that we had enormous number of frustrated and dismotivated people. So we wanted to change the situation, so we decided to combine some useful activity with fun and joy. And on another hand, actually that was also obvious for us that in order to rebuild Ukraine, and Ukraine suffered so much, and so we have so much destruction, that in order to rebuild that, volunteering must become a lifestyle for our generation of people. And in order to do so, volunteering cannot attract much people if it will be just physical work, but the opposite. If it combines physical work and also some social, entertaining activity, then it can be some kind of long-term activity.
Yeah, and everyone has different skills, you know? Like, I'm sure that everyone here has not worked with their hands before, you know?
Yeah, the most of people are from creative industries, young hipsters, designers, DJs, art directors, etc. So it is not really people that worked a lot by hands.
By hands, yeah, right.
So there was events here in the village, some kind of concerts, etc. And this damaged building, we are just reassembled it. We picked those bricks and try to save as much as possible. So these bricks will be used to build another building somewhere in this village. And today we are going actually to do the same. You see these damaged parts. You will, I don't know how to code properly in English, but you will have special tools to remove all unnecessary stuff, like all concrete around it, to save the brick and to collect them on these towers.
So it was kind of cultural center of the community, and there were some discos, some singing courses, small theater over here, and the population of this village. And in March last year that was destroyed, and you can see how it looks now. That was a fight actually behind the cultural center between Russians and Ukrainians, so as a result you can see what happened.
And now there will be a DJ.
Yeah.
DJ right here, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you need it?
Yes, please. Thank you. So what's happening right now is that we're pretty much being given instructions on what we're going to be doing for today, and just meet and greet, so to say, just to get acquainted with one another and to formally kick off today's events. And I was just given my gloves to start working. So I'm gonna go join the group and listen in. Why did you decide to participate in this?
Well, for me, it's first of all about international reputation. And I've been seeing a lot of news about like Ukrainian yachts rebuilding stuff in a really creative way. And I think that's the reputation that we had that the world hasn't seen for a long time. And we need to keep it going. So I really want to spread the word, and I really want other people to join this place. So that's why I joined.
It's really hard to actually be in the village and see all of the children and older people, because those are people who survived through like the actual murder of everybody they know, and they stayed on this place. So there is like, you not only survive this, you should stay and see these destroyed buildings every single day. And you could not do anything about them, because the work, as you see right now, we have like 400 volunteers. And we just, everything we can do is just, you know, like clean, recycle the bricks. So it's like insane amount of work. And even if the whole village decides to do this, it's still gonna be not enough. And the other thing about all of that is that we don't actually know all of the stories, because in Ukraine, like in the USSR in general, basically we are taught not to speak. So if something bad happens to you, you need to be silent, because you never know what's going to happen, who's going to come to your house and like kill you for that. So actually a lot of stories from the school, from the village are just a small percentage of everything that we can know, just because people choose not to speak for obvious reasons.
So this kid just gave me a bullet. I mean, just think about it, y'all. Like, there's so many reminders of what happened in this place just lying around, and the kid overheard us talking about the occupation, and he just came over here and gave me this bullet fragment. Oh, is this your first time with this project?
Yeah.
Really? Why did you decide to do this?
Well, all of my friends are doing this, and I've been out of the country for 1 year, so I have a lot of energy to make up for the missed time of working for my country.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just a fun time with my best friends, meeting new people, working for the community. This could have been any one of us, you know, living in this village. So yeah. I think it's the obligation of people who are more lucky. And we are doing this with people who are just everyday people, you know, like they are not working in the construction. They're having their jobs and they spend their time during their weekend where they are supposed to chill. If I can say that in Ukraine, chilling is possible at all, and they still go here and work. So I think it's even more than building something physical, it's building like something metaphorically, the new country basically, right? I think we are like universal builders right now. Not only physical, but also building the community, supporting your friends who cannot sustain the level of pressure, and just continue working, continue going to the cafes to support your economy, right? Like those are small business owners, they also need to sell stuff. Yeah, we are strong together, but we need support always.
All right, so tell me your name.
My name is Roman.
Roman?
Yeah.
Okay, where are you from?
I'm coming from the city of Lugansk. Actually, this is the city in the eastern part of Ukraine, which is occupied since 2014. So it's like the first city actually to encounter the Russian invasion back when it started 9 years ago already.
So you grew up in Luhansk?
Yeah. And then when I was 16, I moved to Kyiv because like Lugansk was occupied and I was a schooler, so I came here to Kyiv to enter the university. It like coincided the occupation of Lugansk and the time where I came to Kyiv to enter the university.
Wow, so this is your second invasion?
Yeah, actually,
wow.
Yeah.
And so your home you can't go back to?
Yeah, actually, it felt like weird and like surrealistic kind of to have the opportunity to lose your home for the second time in your life, because like when I was 16 I didn't quite understand what happened. This is like was obligatory for me to leave. Like my parents said me like you need to leave, but when you understand what is happening and you have to make a choice whether you want to stay and like encounter this invasion or you want to leave like second time, this becomes like a life-changing choice actually.
Where are your parents?
Like I don't have like a full family, but the part of my family stays in Lugansk now, so they live under occupation. But frankly speaking, we have like the worldview collision with them, because I support Ukraine and I grew up in Ukraine, being a citizen of Ukraine, but they like have I would say very Soviet mentality, so would they like switch between neutral position or like supporting Russia, frankly speaking. Actually now we see that Russia have the opportunity to actually fail before Ukraine fails. They have like the first military rebellion. They have like the battles among their superior level politicians, but here in Ukraine day to day, of course we have like fatigue, of course we are tired, but this is not the kind of exhaustion like we want to surrender. This is like the kind of exhaustion we would do it until everybody of our enemy dies or leaves our territory. This is kind of exhaustion.
Tell me your name.
My name is Vlad Minchev.
Your name is Vlad Minchev.
Minchev, yeah.
Okay, so you were telling me about kvass.
Yeah, so kvass is basically Ukrainian analog of pure gold, of liquid gold, you know. So kvass is what heals us, what brings us power, and what brings us refreshness in the hottest of days. Kvass. And like it's cool because like here people are mostly really like cheerful, really cheerful, and it helps you, you know, make it through, because like when you see other people not surrendering, doing their best to do something useful, you know, it makes you, you know, it's bring you some resource.
So walking around this village, and even though it's been liberated for a while, you still see remnants of the Russians being here. So there are places where there are bullet holes and in the walls, and the wreckage from destroyed military vehicles. And I just have to wonder what this village was like before the Russians came. You know, just generally, because it's not only that the Russians' presence is no longer here, but the ugliness and the death and the trauma, all that is still felt here, you know. And Доброго дня. Yeah, so that's the thing, right? You know, the trauma is still here, even though the soldiers who created it aren't. Hey. Greetings from Central Kyiv, everybody. I just want to take a break to talk about how Ukrainians have suffered a lot during this war, and I've had the privilege of sharing their stories with you, but I want to do more to help by asking you to give to their fundraising efforts, and you can start by supporting groups like Repair Together and Immersive Mission. These two organizations are providing a great service, coming to villages like these and working with locals to repair all the damage Russian troops left behind. It will happen a lot faster if people like you can donate however much you can. And trust me, y'all, they need every single penny. And I get it.
I watch the news too. When you see reports of Ukraine getting billions of dollars in aid, you think villages like Yahidne are reaping the benefits and don't need any more support. Nothing could be further from the truth. Much of the aid is going to the military and to keep the economy going, not for rebuilding efforts. The fact is, it'll take hundreds of billions of dollars to rebuild the infrastructure Russia is currently destroying, and that number is likely to rise after the war ends. But Repair Together and Immersive Mission aren't waiting on the West to do the work they're already doing themselves. I first came to Yahidne with Natalia Pirak, founder of Immersive Mission. Her organization helps individual homeowners repair their homes that were damaged during the occupation last year. Her organization needs at least $50,000 to help people complete repairs to their homes. Please help her reach that goal by donating at the link in the description below. Repair Together, the folks who are featured in this video, also do great work, as you can see. Please give any amount of money that you can, also at the link in the description below this video. Let's help rebuild Ukraine by giving to these two great organizations. All right, back to the video. The day is coming to an end and everyone is finishing their work. And Dimitri and I are helping the team get ready for the most interesting part of the day.
All right, everybody, so the day is winding down, and so we're entering into the party part of this event, and so it looks really dope. There are a whole bunch of straw people that have been built, and they look really beautiful, but guess what? They are going to be burned, and the party is going to rage on.
In our case here in Yahidne, we drank lots of booze and ate lots of shashlik because the barbecue pits were blazing all day, baby.
Okay, where are you guys from?
Ukraine, Chernihiv.
Chernihiv. Chernihiv.
Chernihiv.
Chernihiv.
Chernihiv.
Yeah. Chernihiv.
Yeah. Chernihiv.
So we're getting ready for Ivan Kupala night. It's a pagan holiday that usually takes place on July 7th and is celebrated by Ukrainians and other Eastern Slavs. People celebrate by gathering flowers and herbs and decorating themselves. The rituals that people take part in are all about purification of themselves and the environment around them. That's why fire and water and herbs are involved. Everything is about getting in touch with nature. And I have to tell you, Ivan Kupala is a sight to see. Folks be dancing around trees, jumping over fires, weaving wreaths around their heads, burning straw men and women, and drinking plenty of liquor.
Let's talk about how good the brownies are.
Oh, we're talking about this right now. Last 10 minutes we're talking only about how good brownie it is. There is no random people. Everyone who came here become a part of community and became kinder than was before. After you go back home, you became kinder after all of this.
All right, so somebody just gave me some Portuguese wine for my little sippy cup here. Everybody's pretty much chilling out, getting ready for the pagan celebration. So people are gonna be jumping over the fire and shit like that. I've never done anything like this before. Now, I don't know what my pastor at Concord Church of Christ in Brooklyn, New York will have to say about me participating in a pagan events, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
There's also singing and dancing and scaring away witches. Here in Yahidne and the rest of Ukraine, the witches are the Russians. At this point, many of the villagers came and joined the fun. Folks were dancing, laughing, and just really feeling good. Russian soldiers occupied these very grounds where we're celebrating. Kupala night is all about scaring off the witches, but I really feel like we were running off the evil spirits the Russian occupiers left behind. Look, y'all, on Kupala night, I was more likely to die from alcohol poisoning than a Russian missile strike.
Ukrainian language. Okay. You know Ukrainian language? I have just one question. Is it better than avian?
Is it better? Yes, it is. Yeah.
As the dancing and singing went deep into the early hours, I gained a greater appreciation for the Ukrainian people. Just over a year ago, people in this village were suffering under Russian occupation. Now people are dancing, laughing, and singing. It'll take years for this village to recover economically and structurally. The psychological trauma will likely last generations. But Ukrainians, with all of their resilience and traditions, still have joy in their hearts. They are rebuilding Ukraine, one brick at a time. And with the help of Ivan Kupala, they are scaring off the evil spirits along the way.
I hope you enjoyed this video. I love traveling around Ukraine and visiting other places around the world. And as much as I enjoy publishing these videos each week, they cost a lot of money to produce, and I'm doing everything on my own dime. I have to pay for transportation, hotels, production costs, and my living expenses. So I need your help to keep these videos coming. Please join my Patreon community and/or give to my PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App. The links are in the description below the video. I'd really appreciate it. And of course, hit those like and subscription buttons.